Hey guys, it's Marissa from Grow in the Flow, and I'm checking in here on Sunday afternoon. I hope you are having a restful and relaxing weekend as prescribed. Couldn't get away this weekend from the letter R. It really has been coming through with all of the rest and all things relaxation and recreation. So I hope you have made the most of it and enjoyed yourself. Also, a note for this weekend, of course, was also very reflective as we came upon the 20-year anniversary of the 9/11 attacks. And so sending healing and love and light out into the world in remembrance and reflection of that day. So I am bringing in today this beautiful spray from Angelic Celestial Colors, Archangel Chamuel, for love and peace. Again, showering the collective with this energy of love and peace. The soft pink was really speaking to me today. And so I brought in a lot of rose quartz and this soft pink to also welcome in this gorgeous new deck that I have just received. I have heard amazing things and saw some really awesome reviews and uses of this deck online that really inspired me to check it out. So I'm very excited, and please do note these pink fluffy clouds. Also bolstering that inspiration that I'm feeling today. So what I'm going to do is I have a weekly spread that I do to look at the week ahead. So we're just going to do this for the collective. I'm going to be choosing 5 cards representing Monday, September 13th through Friday, September 17th. So we're going to have a first position representing our week ahead. Then we have a second position for the potential challenges or blocks that we may experience in this week. We have Wednesday, middle of the week, is our weekly blessing. How are we being blessed this week? What I'm going to do is I'm just going to break this up and see what wants to come forward. Then we have our fourth position for Friday, or fourth position for Thursday, for looking at how we're growing this week. And then finally Friday to wrap up the week. So we're going to squeeze everybody in here and we're going to explore these gorgeous cards together. So let's see what we have coming up. Oh my gosh, I love these cards. Beautiful. Okay, so our first card for now, again, this is in the position of Monday, but of course, this is energy throughout the week. So kind of representing that first day of the week, looking ahead through the week. It's definitely going to be a busy week. We have the 8 of Wands coming in here. Now, we ended last week and talked about the weekend energy with the 8 of Pentacles, which indicated that perhaps people were working on projects, had a lot of to-do items, things going on that they were needing to focus on. Well, we're picking things back up on Monday and hitting the ground running because here's the 8 of Wands. So that is all of the fiery energy, forward movement. So we're moving right into this week from the get-go with a lot of action. There's creativity, there's fire, there's inspiration, but there's just definitely a lot to do. There's a lot going on. It's a busy time. So as we move into the week, the potential challenges or blocks are coming in here with the Fool. So this is about new beginnings. This is about starting over. Again, perfect because we wound down last week with the 9/9 portal and September 9th and 10th, which represented things coming into completion, the ending of cycles. And of course, we know that beyond every ending is a new beginning. So this is showing that a challenge this week is perhaps getting started with something new. This could be a new schedule, new things that you're having to adapt to. Again, bringing in the overarching energy of the week with the 8 of Wands, there's a lot going on. There's a lot of irons in the fire. That's what I'm getting. There's just a lot of irons in the fire, a lot of arrows in the quiver, a lot going on that is being it's new to be managed. Now, a lot of people are still experiencing, back to school or new routines that start in the fall, or if you're in a part of the world where you're getting ready for spring. A lot of times where we're changing seasons, our routines change as well. So we're setting off on those new beginnings, and there can be some uneasy footing there because the challenge can be that we're just not familiar with it yet. We don't know what to expect. But there is an aspect of that, of course, that we can embrace and look forward to. The Fool opens up with genuine curiosity and openness to experience the unknown, to experience what they have yet to experience. And so doing so in a very enthusiastically curious and open way. So, whether it really is new schedules, busyness, things going on that are difficult to juggle because it's a new start. And again, some people could be starting a new job, definitely getting that too. You could be heading out to start a new job or a new venture of some kind. Also, again, with the back to school energy, there's a lot of people that have perhaps children returning to school, or you may be returning to school. You could be returning to school maybe later in life, where you're starting a new study or project or a program that, the challenge is kind of getting back in the saddle, getting back out there. So I'm getting a lot of that energy too as a potential challenge. But the blessing in all of this is this gorgeous, oh my goodness, I'm just loving the colors and the beauty of this deck. 9 of Cups, the card of wishes. So again, this is showing that, all of the wishes and aspirations and things that you're looking to bring forward, that they're very grounded and rooted in. So if we're taking time to really not just think about, what we want to do when we want things to get going and moving, but there's definitely been a period of sort of planting the seeds and sitting with them and really focusing on each of these wishes, each of these hopes, each of these things that we're wanting to bring forward. There is an energy here of, it's very fortuitous. Now, of course, another side of this is a blessing. Be careful what you wish for. Be cognizant of what you wish for. It's not a warning so much as it is just an engagement. Again, being really rooted in, and not just having the inspiration or the intuition, the idea that's coming in through the upper chakras, but bringing that all the way in and grounding it into your lower chakras as well, integrating it into your being. These wishes, these aspirations, these things that you're looking to bring through, whatever this new start is, whatever this uncharted territory is, and all this action here, it's looking very fortuitous. It's looking really good here. Now, Thursday says, how am I growing? Here's another ending card, okay? 10 of Swords. Now, what I love about this imagery here is, again, every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end, right? Like the song says. So here we have this person is looking pretty down and out with all these swords coming at them, kind of at the end of their rope there. But look at all of the flowers blossoming from the tips of these swords, okay? So that's showing that, even the challenging situations, the difficult endings, the struggles, the things that can leave us feeling really down and out and literally pinned to the ground, they can create the most fertile ground for growing the new, for blossoming in ways that we never thought possible, or blossoming in ways that would not have happened had it not been for the endings that needed to take place here in order for us to be able to start and grow these new beginnings. So, that is how am I growing? Thursday energy. So we're talking about, this progression of wishes being made, and coming to terms with endings and things that are having to be left alone here, to embarking on new beginnings and stepping out there anew from this really beautifully inspired place. Okay, so that brings us to the Friday energy, sort of wrapping it up, which again is talking about moving forward, moving on. We have the 6 of Swords. Now, again, loving how it is imagined here in these beautiful cards, is that, taking each of these things. Now, swords, of course, representing the air element, representing thoughts, the mind, the mental aspects. But so these are things that we can carry with us at times, that we can learn how to wield these swords in a way that works to our advantage, that we're actually, taking those, the things that might have been stinging, the things that were piercing, the things, that had that double-edged energy to them, or, the uncomfortable truths or things that became clear through less than pleasant experiences, less than pleasant truths coming out, or, things that were very stinging, that finding a way to use those things as stepping stones, to literally make them work to your advantage, to where you were able to take all of those lemons and make them into lemonade. So there's definitely been something here, an energy here that was challenging and difficult, potentially something that really had you laying out, out on the ground, down and out, like physically or emotionally or all of the above, that you are now having this fresh beginning, this new start of bringing those things in line to work for you, to navigate those emotions, to navigate, the overwhelming nature of a lot of emotion. Water is representing emotion here. So, to the extent that you may have be coming out of a period that has been very emotional, that has been very unsettling, this is really showing for the week ahead that those things are all going to really start to come into formation as a beautiful new beginning for you, as something that is really going to lead you to the next chapter in the most beautiful way, of course, with this gorgeous midweek blessing that's coming in. So I am loving that message for the week. What I'll do is I will pull us an oracle card too. I have the Wisdom of the Oracle deck here, and just an extension of our Nautilus shell. I just put a post up for Soulful Sunday, saw some really great words shared by Neil Donald Walsh today, and I felt really inspired by them, so I sort of reimagined them into a post using the symbolism of the Nautilus shell, because I just find that symbolism to be so beautiful of, again, the cyclical nature of endings and new beginnings, of all of our experiences culminating into this energy of coming around again and coming around again, where, again, we can feel at times like this is like enough is enough, and how many times am I going to experience this thing or this emotion or this situation? And yet each time we're coming around, we are seeing things from that new higher perspective. We have with us all of the information that we gathered from the experience the last time and the time before that. It's not meant to punish or to torture us. The universe just has this beautiful way of bringing forward for us just what we need, lessons that need to be learned, or perhaps growth or expansion that is available to us, that these situations that present themselves give us, again, that fertile ground for achieving that thing. Okay, so looking at it as each chamber of that Nautilus shell being a source of information and knowledge that we now have that we hadn't had before. It's wisdom gathering. And so I love there's so much symbolism in the Nautilus shell. And I was really feeling that today, and now here it's popping up again. So thank you again for those spiritual breadcrumbs. We'll see where that leads into this week ahead. But let's get an oracle card to put a little punctuation mark on our week ahead reading with my crazy camera that is just having a mind of its own right now. Let's see. Oop. Flipping it over, we've got the Y card. So I love this card because it really is about exploring things deeper, going a little deeper beyond just what is on the surface, just by the book's cover. Okay, so digging in deep and seeing things beyond the surface. So I think that there's things coming up in these experiences here that we are having this week that are going to challenge us and question us about our why. Really looking at when we're talking about our wishes, when we're talking about our ambitions and the places that we want to go, asking us to really get clear about why that is, and what it is that we see for ourselves in our journeys. So I really think, this week is going to be an extension of this energy of, going within. And this is definitely too bringing through like the wisdom gathering of experience. And so it may even literally be further research, looking in a book or some source of information to expand awareness and knowledge in some area, but really about looking at, why it is that you are feeling drawn to move in a particular direction at this time, and just getting really clear on that. And again, that's helping to get those creative juices going, to envision, what that looks like, a month from now, 6 months from now, a year from now, and what those practical steps are that we're taking to get there, page by page, thinking of it sort of like chapters of a book. When you're writing the story of your life, which chapter are you in now, and what message does your story have for the reader? Why would someone want to read your book? I'm not talking about selling yourself, but I'm talking about, this helps you to really delve into your creativity and really envisioning, who you are and your purpose and what it is that you're looking to bring forward, and your story that is being written with each page every day. So really being more mindful about that, but recognizing your position as the one who is writing the story. So again, the Nautilus shell energy is telling us that, on this chapter, on this page, something perhaps didn't go the way we planned, didn't work out as we expected, whatever it may be, that we turn the page and we start fresh and we're in a new chapter. We're looking at it from another perspective, another character, perspective in a story, kind of looking at it from that way, and just being kind of playful with it, to think that, that is all ways to help you glean new perspectives on things that can sometimes trip us up. They can sometimes leave us literally scratching our head and saying, why? That this is another way to sort of empower yourself, and to be armed with information, to be armed with knowledge about where you're heading, which it's okay not to know. It is okay not to know, to going out there and exploring those uncharted territories. But again, that is where you can look to other sources for support and guidance to help you sort of write this map as you go. All right, well, I think that is a beautiful week ahead. I'm hoping that everyone is well, and wishing you all many blessings this week. I will be in touch soon. Okay, take care. Hey guys, it's Marissa from Grow in the Flow, and I'm checking in here on Sunday evening. I hope you have had a very restful and relaxing weekend as prescribed, but thought we would just do a quick check-in for the week ahead for the collective, using a weekly spread that I like to use for myself personally. And what I have here is this gorgeous new deck I cannot wait to take a look at. I've shuffled it, I've been sitting with it, but this is going to be my first reading and I can't wait. It's the Luna Soul Tarot. I was inspired by several individuals on Instagram who have used this deck, who gave great feedback on this deck, so I'm really looking forward to checking it out. And I was feeling this color scheme that you'll see on the cards that I also have reflected here on the altar. So I'm bringing in the energy of Archangel Chamuel with the Love and Peace spray from Angelic Celestial Colors. And that is really just to sort of bring in this heart chakra opening and soothing bubblegum pink color to bring forward the energies of love and peace, in addition to all of the R energy that we had this weekend when it came to rest and relaxing and recreating and being revived and renewed and all of the R things. We, of course, also had the anniversary of September 11th for a day of reflection and remembrance. So I do also want to send out love, healing, and light for that as well. So as we move forward into this week ahead, we're going to check out this gorgeous deck. I have been shuffling it, but I am just going to do a quick shuffle here, and then I'm going to separate it into 5 because we have one position for each day of the week, representing September 13th through September 17th. So I'll bring these in as we go. But when we look at Monday, we're talking about sort of the week ahead energy. Tuesday, we're talking about potential challenges or blocks we may find this week. Wednesday is a midweek blessing for this week. Then we have Thursday, how are we growing? And finally, a Friday wrap up. So each position is representing a day of the week, but of course, all of this energy is working together throughout the week. So if it's coming up on the Monday position, it isn't just talking about Monday. It is fluid throughout the week. So let's take a peek at what's coming up. See a familiar face that we saw in our collective weekend reading here. Oh my goodness, the gorgeousness. I can't. So for Monday, we have, again, this death card, and that is the card that we got this weekend. It came up in the position for Sunday, and it was really talking about rebirth and renewal. Again, things coming to an end in order to bring forth new. And this is a gorgeous depiction because here we see that traditional skeleton, that picked clean to the bone energy of the death card, because it brings in transformation. It clears away all of the excess to bring through the new, but we see throughout the skeleton here this vine and this flower that is blossoming, this new beginning, this rebirth that's coming from the ending of something. And of course, that's perfect because last week we had the 9/9 portal, and then of course September 10th. So the 9 and 10 energy representing cycles ending, things coming to completion, different things finishing out, which of course we know on the other end of that is always a new beginning, something new on the horizon. So Monday, kind of this week's energy is definitely about transformation and new rebirth. Let's keep the R's going, right? Rebirth. So now from this period of rest and relaxation and reflection and going within comes the rebirth, comes the new dawn on the horizon. So this week ahead is going to be about things ending and new things coming up ahead of that, okay? So when we look at potential challenges to that, we have the 9 of Cups. And this is actually a beautiful card of wishes coming true. It's very fortuitous. It's very, obviously it's showing like sort of sitting atop of all of these full cups, all of these blessings, all of these wishes. And the fact that they're sitting on top of a lotus flower suggests to me again is difficult situations and things, maybe perhaps things that were difficult to let go of, things that are hard, challenging, that whole idea of the lotus needing to be in the mud in order to grow, no mud, no lotus. So it's like, if not for those more difficult endings and goodbyes and challenges and things that come through that death process, we would not be able to enjoy all of these wishes coming forward and coming true. So this card also has a message of, be careful what you wish for, or be cognizant of what you wish for. So that's kind of saying, hey, sometimes what we thought was a new beginning that was going to really be something that was like our wishes coming true, the be all that end all, it could turn out to be something different than what we expected. However, not to despair, because had it not been for that experience, I wouldn't have the information that I now have to move forward with. So even when something turns out to not be all that it's cracked up to be, there is a message of hope and a message of brightness, because the difficulties, the struggles, the things that, in the moment can feel very difficult and overwhelming, can bring forward the most beautiful blooms, the most beautiful growth. So, this week there is an element of sort of kind of coming to terms with these endings and understanding how they were a necessary part of bringing forward, making all of our wishes come true. So with that, we have our Wednesday blessing, and we have the King of Swords coming in with, I definitely have been getting this energy of truth and clarity, cutting through things. And so the King of Swords, of course, is in that position of truth and clarity, and not caught up in a lot of emotion, not caught up in a lot of excess, but being able to really wield that sword. And again, I'm loving this deck. Butterfly on the tip of the sword is again speaking to me about transformation. It's speaking to me about coming through that difficult period, the message of the Death card, in order to emerge as that butterfly, and doing so. And look here again, it almost does look like that lotus. Coming through the challenges and the adversity and the mud, being stuck in the mud, has created this new place of empowered clarity to bring through the transformation. So, and again, it's really starting to become clear. So whatever's happening around you that had to do with that ending, that had to do with things falling away that were no longer serving, things that, it was time for them to go, have really left behind the fertile ground to bring forward these new blooms. Okay. And so this is really indicating that you are in this position of stability and clarity and beautiful transformation. So that's definitely coming in this week as well. Now, the Thursday energy of how am I growing? Well, High Priestess says, what are you asking me for? You already know, right? This is the card of intuition right here in the deck. So we have this amazing depiction of the High Priestess, who is definitely showing that, how are you growing? Well, you're really getting in tune with what is right for you, your intuition, and being able to check in with yourself and figure out your truth, your own truth, versus, perhaps what you're moving away from is an energy of people pleasing, feeling like, in order for you to achieve these things, that you have to follow expectations of others, that you have to, follow the crowd or do the status quo of working the types of jobs or living the type of lifestyle that, expectations may have of you. However, you know better, because now, having had the experiences that you've had, you are armed with this truth and clarity. And we're getting into this place of knowing how to check within, to go within and check our internal truth detector to really feel whether or not something resonates with us or not. And so when we're in tune with that energy, we have the Friday wrap up here that's showing we can move forward, and enthusiastically so, because this is showing things happening. This is so much fire, sparks of intuition, of creativity and inspiration rather, coming up, because it's like we're on fire. A flame has been lit within us, and it's sort of like, dominoes. It's like a wildfire. One spark gets lit, and once you're off and running, things are just going to start falling into place. So these wishes over here, the things that you are sitting on, the things that that the struggles and the difficulties have been sort of fostering for you. Again, getting clarity on all of that, seeing the beauty and the transformation in those things is going to really help kickstart that intuitive knowing and that ability to sit atop your own throne of sovereignty, where you are self-assured in where you're headed. And when you do that and you take one step in that direction, then the next one and the next one. Like, this just feels like, a lot of arrows in the quiver, a lot of irons in the fire, things just really stoking up and getting ready for positive movement. So I think this week is going to be really integral to, really getting things moving for you. Now, I know, astrologically, there's a lot of things going on. Mercury's getting ready to go into retrograde. So it's not like, I don't feel like this week starts up and then all of a sudden, all the wishes are coming true. I think it's just, these are steps along the way that are planting the seeds now, so that as we move through September and further into October is when we're really going to start seeing the action and the fruits of all of that. But this is really this process of, we came through this 9/9 portal, these cycles ending, completing cycles, and really getting into this place of, we're sitting on these wishes from this empowered place, and really getting in touch with our sovereignty. That is so important. So it doesn't matter if it's showing up in your life, in the day-to-day, or if you're seeing it more in how you're interacting with the collective, because of this need for you to really use that internal truth detector to understand all of the things that are coming at you, all of the information, the opinions, and so forth, to be able to cut through all of that and be in this position of balance and awareness. Okay, so that's what I'm kind of getting for this week. I'm going to grab an oracle card from the Wisdom of the Oracle by Colette Baron-Reid. Take a look and see what's coming up as sort of a punctuation mark for our week. And I love how these cards are bringing in the spiritual breadcrumbs of the Nautilus shell that I've been getting today. I just posted a Soulful Sunday message from Neil Donald Walsh that was really speaking to me, and I reimagined it here in the symbolism of the Nautilus shell. So I'll share a little bit about that. Oop, that one wants to come out. We will go with it after we take a look at this. To the sea. So again, water representing emotion. So there is a plenty of it. We're literally in an ocean of emotion right now with everything going on collectively in the world. As I mentioned this past weekend, all of those emotional energies around us, but she is navigating that. And what is she using? She has her compass. She has her binoculars. So again, looking to get perspective on all of this. Now, these waters don't look so choppy. They're deep. There's a lot going on here, and yet she's navigating that relatively smoothly. So it's like, all things considered, of all those things coming in, tuning into using these tools are helping to move us forward in the right direction. And so there really is an element of connecting in there with balance and flow, is what I'm getting there. And so what that has to do with this gorgeous Nautilus shell symbolism is, the Nautilus shell with the different chambers and this energy of coming around again and coming around again. So it's like, as we've experienced endings and as we've experienced things not working out, or whatever it is that we feel like we're back in this type of situation again, or how many times is this going to happen to me? And it's not meant to be a punishment. It's not meant to torture you. It is this way, this uncanny way the universe has to provide for you whatever you need for your soul's growth, learning, expansion. So if there is something within you that is needing to come up and be healed, to be released, to be let go, or if there is an opportunity for growth or expansion, you will continually find yourself in these positions of very fertile ground for that. And hey, it can be the mud. Unfortunately, or fortunately, we can find ourselves knee deep in that stuff, but it does serve a higher purpose. And so when we use these tools, when we use our tools to help us to navigate that, from this empowered place, that's when we find things move so much smoother. It's smooth sailing then. And so that's really like the message of the Nautilus shell, is recognizing that the cyclical nature of the experience, the cyclical nature of, the messages and the things that come up seemingly again and again, are for your own good. They really are a part of the process. And so that's what I just love about the Nautilus shell. That comes up a lot. So I had felt moved to bring that in today. So I love that that's popping up here again. But that's what I'm getting for the week ahead. Just again, collective energy. So some of it will resonate more than others. You take what makes sense to you. You leave the rest. The best way to get specific guidance and insight into your situation is to have a personal reading, which of course that information is always available at the link in my bio. But I thank you so much for checking this out. I hope that it has resonated with you. I'm wishing you a beautiful week, and I send you many blessings. Take good care. Hey guys, it's Marissa from Grow in the Flow, and I'm checking in here on Sunday evening. I hope you've had a very restful and relaxing weekend as prescribed, and figured we'd do a little check-in on the collective energies for the week ahead. Now, third time's a charm, because I have to keep this short and sweet for IGTV. So I'm already shuffled and put out our cards. I'm just going to flip them over. But I did want to say, this is my gorgeous new deck, the Luna Soul Tarot, that I am so excited to dive into. This is going to be my first reading with it, but I was very inspired by several individuals on Instagram who use and recommend this deck. So I'm so excited to have it here. Also bringing in the pink energies of Archangel Chamuel for love and peace. So I have been infusing that into our collective reading here, bringing in all the love and all the peace as we've moved through this weekend, which of course, in addition to being one that was recommended to spend resting and recreating, was also, of course, very reflective as we had the remembrance of the September 11th anniversary, the 20-year anniversary. So I'm also sending out love, healing, and light to the world in remembrance of that as well. So as we move into this week ahead, we have these 5 positions here that I like to do for myself personally. I have Monday for our week ahead energies, Tuesday for any challenges or blocks we may see this week, Wednesday, a midweek blessing, Thursday, how are we growing? And then Friday, wrapping it all up. So I'm going to flip these over and see what's coming up. And I already kind of course, have a sense of the energies that I've been seeing as I have attempted to put this quick video together. Yes. Okay. So for Monday, what we have coming up here is the 2 of Swords. So this is indicating sort of being at a crossroads this week, a kind of being at a point of decision making, of taking things in one direction or another. But there's an invitation to look for a higher perspective, to see things that may be outside of peripheral vision. So sometimes, we may be feeling stuck or closed off or unable to make decisions or choices, but we're able to switch perspectives, look at things from a different angle, and see that there is actually a clearer path. Now, one of the overarching messages that has been coming up is carrying forward these energies of endings and new beginnings. Last week, we had the 9/9 portal. We had September 10th, which 9s and 10s representing cycles coming into fruition, completion, ending of cycles. We have the Two of Swords here showing us this crossroads between the old that we're leaving behind and the new that we're bringing forward. So the potential challenge this week is the High Priestess. And of course, this is all about our intuition, our higher knowing. And so it may be difficult sometimes to get clarity on, again, the right direction, the path that we want to take things. A challenge could be kind of getting clear on that. A challenge can be having that clarity on how we want to move forward. But the blessing of the week that's coming in is this Ace of Wands, which of course is that spark of creativity, that fire energy, and offering a message coming in, again, of wielding our fire and creative spark and inspiration. And so sometimes something like this can really help shake up being at a stalemate, being in a place of not being clear on which way we want to go. So, and again, these are not positions that are locked into the day. So in other words, each position is representing a day of the week, but of course this energy is fluid throughout the week. So if you find yourself in a situation where you're having to make a decision, a choice to move in a particular direction or not, and you're not clear on that, you're just foggy and unable to really tune in, too much going on, difficult to really quiet the noise. This is suggesting that you do something creative, something that lights you up, again, to clear your head and be able to get more into that position of confidence, solar plexus energy, really connecting in with the fire in the belly, what lights you up, and that will help to illuminate the path and find clarity there. Now, Thursday, we have how we're growing this week, and we have the Knight of Pentacles, or here the Knight of Discs. So again, this is energy of offerings coming in, of seeds being planted that are going to be productive, but it is a slower moving energy. So it is showing that, it's something that may have been a source of frustration for delays or things that but this is showing that, getting this clarity and being able to connect in with our intuition and our knowing is really going to start to bring forward the good stuff. The pentacles representing that material success and material wealth and security and abundance. And so that's how we're growing, that when we know the path that we take to move through stumbling blocks and barriers and blockages and things, we're able to then move through those things. They're going to happen. We're going to find ourselves at crossroads and places where we're not real clear and we can't really feel what's the right way to go. How should I handle this? This is where, we start wielding these wands of creativity and inspiration that help bring forward that material abundance that we're all looking to bring in. And so for the Friday energy of wrapping the week up, we have this beautiful depiction of the Hierophant. So of course, this is that spiritual knowledge and awareness coming in. And it really does feel like, again, this is kind of giving me the High Priestess vibes. So it's sort of like what was challenging you is also teaching you. The most difficult, and this is an energy that's been coming up through every attempt to share this reading with you today, is about the difficult situations and struggles, things that, could be rather unpleasant at times to experience, can bring forward the greatest growth, the greatest expansion, the greatest awareness. And so this is really wrapping up the week, showing that, again, and really getting the feeling of like your tools, these practices, these awarenesses that are coming in for you as ways to move through, ways to navigate these tricky situations, these difficult crossroads and so forth. And so, whatever's playing out for you this week, however that's showing up for you, the culmination of all of that is really gleaning this greater awareness. Lessons are coming through for you that are really connecting you in with your higher self, with your inner knowing. And this was also giving a nod to sovereignty, to being able to go within and connect with your own inner wisdom, your internal truth detector, so that no matter what, and this card can also, represent institutions. It can represent, of course, like religious institution, government, any type of institution. So what I'm getting here too is maybe a collective nod to, no matter what is coming in from any type of authority, that there is a place for you to connect in with your own inner knowing, your own spiritual truth detector, to feel how that is resonating within your body or not. And then, uncrossing those swords, that crossroads, that place of indecision or things not being clear, taking that blindfold off, and really seeing things through your own lens, bringing in your own wisdom, your own experience, and how that resonates with you. So that was also coming up a lot for the collective this week. So the last part that I wanted to do was to bring in an oracle card from the Wisdom of the Oracle by Colette Baron-Reid, which was, of course, also bringing in the Nautilus shell energy that I was really feeling today. I just put up a post for Soulful Sunday with the message I saw today from Neil Donald Walsh that really spoke to me, that I wanted to share, and was definitely giving yet another nod to the energy of recreating and bringing forth newness into our lives. And so I wanted to share that. And then, of course, this beautiful energy of the Nautilus shell came up. So let's see. Happy. Love it. So again, putting a punctuation mark on this week, we have this card of happy. And I just feel like this is bringing in all the lightness and the sweetness and the joy of, again, doing what you enjoy, what lights you up, spending time recreating, spending time, really indulging in the things that make you feel lighter. Because as we release and let go of the heavier energies, it really does. It's sort of this key to unlock the new beginnings. So everything that we're looking to bring forward here, these seeds that are being planted now with the Knight of Discs, are the key to really nurturing that and fostering that growth is continuing to connect in with that yellow, sunny vibration of joy, of happy. It just feels really light and airy. And again, one of the tools to put into place for you when you do find yourself, and you will, it happens. We have the ups and the downs and days that are heavier than others. And of course, as you move throughout your week and challenges and work and things that you have coming up, how do we navigate that from this place of lightness and happiness and joyful spirit? So that is what I'm getting for overarching energies. Again, as a collective reading, you always take what resonates for you and you can leave the rest. The best way is always to get a more specific reading for you is to have a personal reading. And of course, that link is always in my bio. If you're interested, we should chat. But I'm wishing you all a fantastic week and thank you for your time. And I will speak to you soon. Many blessings. Take care.